Hello. And that's right, it is Tiera time. Oh boy, can't wait. Alright, I'm just getting everything organized. I had it all set up and then I had to restart my computer because my middle mouse wheel just wasn't like working and it was very annoying. I just did not want to, do any like work like that. So I just have to set up everything again. It'll take a bit. Yeah, you see like just a collision event right there. Uh, it's gonna take a bit for me to get everything organized here. All right. So how are you doing, by the way? Have you done any other game stuff? I don't think I've kept up too much. Sorry. Okay, I'm all sniffly again. I don't know why, but every time I get start like streaming, I get all breathy. I think I just have to like pay attention to it. Oh, that's right. I have to get one more window as well here. And I also know that it can be boring here, so I won't be talking too much or explaining things, but I'll like be answering questions on mic. But I will also have some music playing, some light tunes, I guess. All right. Well, any neat tools you've seen lately that you want to talk about? All right. Let me just see that I got everything organized. Oh, that's just the game. There's Game Maker. That's Psy. Hey there. Let me check the audio. It's gonna lower it there so it's not too loud. All right. Let's see. The last window I need to add. It's kind of a boring one. I do need to go back and forth through it, so we're gonna have to be able to see it, I guess. It's just the Notepad++. And like the only reason I have this over just like regular Notepad is just because it has a dark background and I don't have to look at like pure white because that kind of like hurts my eyes. And I do have this up just because so some of these files do get used in my game. Um, by the way, I'm recording, so I guess I'll just talk about it. So the way I have my game set up, I have like this just this tab here in Game Maker for I guess pretty much all my notes and stuff that are kind of important. Um, Actually, I don't see. Yeah, there's a cutscene test, and that's the flags. I don't see. Okay, my scroll wheel is already acting up again. Uh, it must be something to do with the recording software. I don't know. That's the only guess that's causing it, but yeah. All right, so this is it. So this is all of my text that's used in the game. and you can see it's just a bunch of like tags and stuff. I didn't write all this out by like, well, I mean, I have to like type things out by hand, but I usually do it in here in actually, hold on a second. I got to move. I'm just making it so that it's easier to open and close windows for me. Yeah, so I don't actually like, do all the text like the codes like organization, but I do have to obviously like I have to write it all out and I have to like make notes and stuff. Um, and this is what it usually looks like, the file that actually gets picked up. I have like, square brackets for the name of the, I guess the dialogue tag is what you can call it. And I also have it organized. So like you have like an object here, and then I will usually append like an item name. And it's just a very quick way of like, handling like whenever you use an item on a thing. Let me see if I can show that right now. So like here you have soda machine and you have soda machine coin. Uh, and my game should just pop up as soon as like I start playing it. Alright, it's taking a while to build. Alright, there it is. So yeah, like so I give all these objects like default dialog tags, but I can like change it in like the variable setting for Game Maker. All of them have like a different like tag for them. So here it is, like the default one of this is like, lots of yummy snacks in here, blah blah blah. And that corresponds to, where's the vending machine? Must be up here. Yeah, I try to organize this based off of the order that you encounter them, but it's fairly, because I'm like going all over the place with like experimenting. Like you can see that it correlates to this right here. And what I do is like I write it all out, and then I have another like a little like room just for my game where I go to it, and then I can just hit like a key, and I'll like edit all of it into game code. And let's see, that is right here. So it doesn't look too different, but it's a lot easier for me to kind of like edit it in like a file with just like brackets and stuff like that than it is to, type out all of the stuff because I have all like these different, name tag and then like there's like other tags for like whenever items or flags are being set. Um, I do still have to like write those. I don't think I have it fully. Uh, Let me take a look here. Okay, yeah, it's a little bit like I think it's just so that it's a little easier to keep track of like what the relation is. Like this is just saying like we check the flag, checked phone, and then we have a -1 here. What that means is like so the player won't see like any of this stuff. I mean they won't see any of this, but what they will see is like the rest of this thing here, and all this is doing is just like it's sending a command to Game Maker that whenever the player checks it, it will check the flag, checked phone, and if it's set to true, it will jump ahead to J1 here. So it's kind of like initially you'll look at the phone and you'll read the whole description or whatever, like she'll like talk about what it is, and then she'll have like an idea to call her mom or dad, and then this one right here is it's just setting that flag to true. That way, like after they read through it once, it sets the flag, so that will always jump to this end one. Actually, I can just show that in the game, probably easier. So let's do that. So yeah, here's like the first text that we saw, and then the second one, and the third one, and there's like a little command here that sets that one flag to true, and then this is like the final text, and then it ends. But if I check it again, it just skips to the end one, and it's because it sees that first tag, sees that's true, and it jumps ahead to like where I set in the dialogue to jump to. Yeah, and everything else is a bunch of. Okay, I think it's probably easier if I just show like the game thing. So let me do that next. Hide this. Wait, what did I do? What is this? What is this line? I didn't mean to set that. Whatever. Yeah, so here's the variables, and oh, why is that blank? Oh, but why is that blank? I guess I set it in like the object code. Let me check. Yeah, I set it in code. Sometimes I'll set it in like the variables, sometimes I'll set it in the code, and it's because of this stuff. Hold on a second, I gotta sneeze. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so this right here is because like the payphone goes through several different states. I'm saying the dialog tag it, updating it there, rather than like setting it by the variable states. And it's just because like the phone is meant to go through different states based on like points of the game. Because like initially Tiara tries to like use the phone to call her parents, then she realizes she doesn't know her number, so she calls the police. And then as she's trying to call the police, the power goes out. And when she comes back here later, the phone's been like has like it's been like ripped out, so she can't like make any more calls. And what I plan to do is I'm just gonna check a flag to set that. Hold on a second. Sorry, I'm disgusting. All right, enough of that. I'm gonna try and go over some actual game stuff now, like actually working. So the thing I wanted to do today was just kind of make a little bit of progress on like the actual. So I have my game broken up into three acts, like three game acts, and then there's an intro. So the intro, I'm not gonna do that right now because it's just all like story and tutorial. It's just explaining like how Tier got to the park. Act one is like her in the park. Well, Act one actually is like two parts to it. Sorry, it's a little confusing, but like Act one, part one is like her in the park. She's like trying to explore it, trying to figure out like what to do from here, like where to go. Strawberry isn't active yet, and by the way, all these strawberries that you see here, those are just the hiding spots. Um, in game wise, he's meant to like pick one randomly, but for testing purposes, I just have a variable called forced here that makes sure it always pops up at that one spot, and I can test like anything I want to with that. The other thing with this is I also have like a drop down of like what type of hiding spot it is, so that corresponds with whatever object is right there, and then which way he's detecting. Um, it is I like it's gonna align with like wherever like direction he's meant to face forward. He's gonna be usually close to a wall. The only other type of hiding spot detection is like central, and those are for street lights. because he can't like look up right down. He just looks around in like a circular area. So that's why those are there. I'm just gonna hide them. And this giant coin, that's just a placeholder thing. It's just for me to keep track of where I might have like items like for collecting. Anyway, so I have a water fountain in the middle. I never finished talking about like so Act One is like she's exploring the park initially. Strawberry isn't active. The second part of Act One is she goes into this back area after the power goes out, and then Strawberry start chasing her. Act Two is like the rest of the park is open, and like there's like you can explore a lot more of it. There's like three different little sub areas you can go into to solve puzzles. It's like the main meat of the game. Act Three is like you enter this warehouse place, and it's where you have like the final confrontation with Strawberry before it goes to the ending. So yeah, spoilers. Um, so this water fountain here is just a placeholder sprite too. Like I'll draw it out and then like I'll place them in game, and you'll see a lot of those like everywhere, and it's just so that I can get an idea of like the size reference. Like this was actually blown up from the original size. Like I originally drew it too small, and I didn't like it, so now it's like I just like enlarged it. And so this is roughly how I want it to look. And I also just placed some quick collision thing manually. Um, all those objects that I show, like the trash can, etc., this lamp, those are objects, and I have them spawning like the collision box within them. They don't have their own like collision set within GameMaker. I use that instead to determine like whether she can like the interaction point of them. The reason I have it like that, where it's like spawning the blocks as part of it, is for stuff like this bench here. So like this bench will have I guess the bench isn't really a good example. Like I guess that water fountain is probably a better one, but like the water fountain has like multiple blocks because this collision is not very even. So I'm just spawning multiple blocks to try and like, cover the parameter of it. I don't really want to use like a circular thing just because, I kind of want to avoid as much, precision collision as possible. And these benches, they spawn blocks that are listed as crawlable, so you can go into them and you can crawl in. Thing I want to add in later though is making it so while you can crawl under here, I want to prevent this where she can crawl through the pole. Uh, yeah, just so that it looks a little more realistic. I'm gonna get rid of this middle one too, so it's not like blocking it and like it's a little easier to get in and out. All right, so with all that, the thing I'm going to do first is I'm going to kind of replace this placeholder one with a actual object. Well, I'm going to keep the placeholder because I don't want to go through the process of just like enlarging like a placeholder image. It's just easier just to like take the object, set it to hidden, and then when I'm later on, I'll just get rid of the placeholder, update this sprite, and then everything will be hunky dory. All right, so I do have to edit this. No, not that. But the sprite's collision mask. Oh, it's already there. Okay. Also, feel free to ask any questions. I'm sorry I'm like going a little bit all over the place and stuff. So I'm gonna get multiple of these up. I can't quite. I guess with all that stuff I mentioned about the the text, I guess we could handle that next. So this is all the main game text, but I kind of like wrote it out over here first, just so that I can keep track of. Wait, no, over here, just so I can keep track of it first before I get to whatever. Because these do have like little cutscene notes, but we're just gonna avoid the cutscene like info right now. We're just gonna keep it as text. I can change it later. Because I do want to like have like a little image of showing what she's doing here, so it reads a little bit better. But let's assume that we're not doing that right now. But let's try to find like a good place to put this. Um, yeah, we'll put it before the payphones and before the vending machine, before the coin and twig. So right here. So we're gonna pay attention to what we're calling it, which is water fountain. I'm gonna have I'm not gonna have like characters speaking portraits throughout the whole game, like with all the dialogue you've been seeing of Tiera. I'm not gonna have that, but for stuff like the intro, I do want to show what the characters look like as they're talking because they are a little bit obscured, and it's just to help like get you used to like who's who. And the other thing I want to use it for is just like little like puzzle elements. Like in this section, she's like reaching to a fountain to try and find a coin, and it's probably easier to show her going for the coin and what the problem is if I have like a little image that's showing her reaching in but not able to get close to it. And it's for any other things I might want to do in the future, like any other cinematic effects. All right, so we have that first one. Oh, that's a spam risk, so I'm gonna ignore that. And so because we have a thing where we're using an item to trigger this one, I'm gonna look for the name of it. I have like a list over here, so it's twig instead of stick. And we just append the name of it. I think we'll do that for now, and I'll do the other one afterwards. So we have all that text, and I saved it. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm first gonna take the name water fountain and I'm going to apply it to the dialog tag here. And already I'm thinking, okay, when you get the coin, obviously she's not going to talk about trying to get to a coin later. So I'll have to like add like a tag or flag to it so that, you know, it's relevant. Like she just talks about the water fountain. She doesn't talk about trying to take something from it that's gone. But we can always handle that later. Right now we're just, doing other stuff. Da, 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 da. All right. Now, I'm not gonna do item crafting. What will happen instead is like she uses so there's a part where she finds like a trash can and it's like knocked over and there's some birds next to it. And after she scares like the birds away, she'll like see some gum on it, but it's too gross for her to touch, so she uses like a twig to like poke it and get it. And that changes like updates the item. I do you want me to call you Angel or Arco or something else? Well, I thought of like like people like crafting stuff in like these type of games, but I always feel like well, one, I just want to like avoid like having too much complex stuff because I feel like if you're gonna add crafting, you have to have like at least like two or three things or more for it to justify it, and I don't imagine this being like too long. What was I doing? Oh, right. I was going to update the text here. And so the way that I do it, well, first I have to run the game again. So here it comes. All right, and I think it was F8. Yeah. All right. So it's kind of like similar to my whatever the cutscene editor, except I just have one button that's just for loading, this text. Um, Now where did I put my? It's defaulting me to like the app local folder. I think this is it. Yep. All right. T-test converted, and what that means is it's created a dialog and it's put it into the app local directory. Yep. Wait. Yeah. Oh, they say he's the fifth. So it gave me like a little text document with like all this code, but it just added in those two lines I changed. So I select all this, get rid of it, and then paste it back in. And if we go all the way up, we can see our code right here, and like it converted it so that it has like Tiera's name and stuff like that. And again, this is like it prevents me from having to like write out dialog D over and over again, or like this front slash Tiera, front slash Tiera. The reason I have like all of this like stuff like organized like with like a big old switch case and like everything like separated out is just so that if I ever want to do like localization or like just viewing the whole story more easily, I can just pull up like that one document and then just like edit it from there. Right, and so I added my fountain in and my dialogue, and now we can like start seeing if this will work. And because I added like the water fountain dialog tag name to the object itself, all the instances of the variable should carry it. Right, so we have the little question mark, which means that she is interacting with it. Yep, so it's all the dialogue. And there's that stick. Yep, there. Yeah, like having like dialogue show up like on its own is easy, but just trying to like get it more and more separated out and like organized takes a bit, and especially when you start to have in all like these different tags for checking flags and et cetera, et cetera. Maybe it could be done, like obviously there's always different ways of doing stuff. Like controlling like I could have had like a different tag name, but changing it and then having like the object itself set which one it is. But I just think it's a lot more straightforward for me if I have like a main tag name and then like appending any item checks I want to do. Anything that doesn't fit that item check, she'll have like a default tag that is like, why would I use that here? If it's an item, and then this is just for me to like know that something's like fucked up and I gotta fix it later. Uh, no, you gotta wait for Five Nights at Freddy's, starring Tiera for that. This is all meant to take place in one night. Specifically, I think her so like the story is like she's going to her older sister's school concert with her family, and I think that's around like 7 or 8. And then like she sees like a ghost in the middle of it and gets spooked and screams, but only she can see it, or at least she thinks she's the only one that can see it. But so her mom thinks she's just like acting out. She gets mad at her, and they have like a little argument. And then Tiara is like taken out to the hallway to wait for it to end, but she's like, fuck you, I'm gonna go home." And so she sneaks off from the school, and she gets on a bus on her own, but she doesn't know where the bus is even going, and so she ends up like getting further away from home. And the only place she recognizes is the park, so she gets off there. But she doesn't realize like it's like late at night and kind of abandoned. So she's like wanders around it looking for help. And then I think like the rest of the game takes place around like 8 to 10 or 9 to 11 or something like that. Anyway, yeah, so we can see that all of this code is working so far as intended. I'm already noticing some changes I want to make though. So let me do that. And like it is a little, it can be like a little like cumbersome for me just to like go back and forth, but I think it's better just for making sure that everything is kind of consistent with the two scripts, the game script and like this document here, just so that whenever I edit here, it will like persist over to that one, um, rather than having to edit two files at once. So let's see. Water fountains really clear the fish. Yeah, these are just all my notes on like different dialogue tags and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna do a similar thing to what I had before, where I'm gonna check for a flag and set it. Checked water fountain. Oh right, my scrolling is all fucked. So I have to manually drag everything. I thought I had. Oh right, I have it in my game maker. I was just posting the name of my flag that I'm making here. All right, cool. So next I have to do that whole thing again. Okay, F8, load text. All right, bye bye Arco. Yeah, get out. Get lost. Clock tower. Yeah. Like, she goes to the clock tower and, it's very exciting. She gets a little too excited and she needs a towel to dry off. It's not like a whole clock tower. It's not like literally like, that. It's just, let me find it. Hold on. No, no skizzer, man. Should be in my placeholders. Yep, there it is. Yep, there it is. So it's just a giant clock, and like she opens like the panel inside of it to do like a puzzle. Yeah, a fairly small one. Um, yep. Okay, so I did all that file stuff. Hello. All right, let's test if our flag works. So water fountain. She sees something shiny. Says someone chucked a quarter in. It's no use. Her arm's too short. Oh, and something got fucked up. All right. So let's see here. Give me a bit. I'm just looking for a similar thing to what I did. I think. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. All right. So in this case, I'm not gonna go through that whole song and dance. Instead, I'm going to just edit them both. So I think I only have like escape characters as like their own line of dialogue. Yeah, that's right. I wanted to have it like that just so that because it didn't really make sense to have it like be part of a line of dialogue. What it's meant to do is like as soon as like it finds like the slash e, it jumps out of it. But what I had is like it only checks like if the first two characters are that rather than looping through the whole text for it. All right, so this should work. Yeah, typically like it's meant to your sentence will just end when like it runs out of like dialogue to find. But in cases like this, I have like a string of dialogue that is meant to be chumped around, hence like all the flags and those like chump symbols. And so I have like a little end character just to kind of like close out all the dialogue and end it right there. So here we are again. So we get here, and there's no E. So that should have set the flag. Sorry, I had a little hiccup. If I check again, I want that quarter, but my arm's too short to get it. I need something to reach it. So there. So like it just acted like that phone thing I showed you earlier, where she'll have like a like an intro text that's kind of long. It's like 4 sentences, and I don't want a player to read 4 sentences every single time they check on this. So instead, I just create like a flag to jump ahead of it, and all I do for like flags is I just set their name here, and then like my dialogue, like my thing that like controls the dialogue will, you know, automatically update like the rest of the flags. And flags are set in like a what is it called, a DS map, and it just checks whether that flag is like there or not. I mean, sometimes it can like check like what like if it's a certain value, but right now I'm just like setting like true or false mostly. And like I don't I used to in previous like projects I would actually have like a list of flags and I would manually set them, but this is a lot easier. Like I do still have a list just for like keeping track of what they are, but that's about it. It's just so that I don't use like the same ones, or like I can check if it exists already. So yeah, so we have her checking for it, but she's not like she can use like a stick on it, but it's not gonna like get her the quarter. So now we're gonna have I guess we could see something. I don't know if I actually put something in this area. Um, it's called a video game, Kunadin. Like it's meant to be fun. It's meant to be played. I think I put yeah, there he is. We're just skipping it because we don't want to deal with him right now. Yeah, so I only have that first area tiled right now. Everything else, I'm just trying to figure out like the spacing of it and all that. There's meant to be blocks here, but you can't see them. Right? Yeah. So this is where those birds are meant to be, and they peck at like Tiera if she gets close to them, but later on she'll like get like a rock, throw it at them, and like grab it. But right now we're just gonna finish setting this up just so that it has collision, and we can like try completing like this little puzzle thing with it. And again, I have like a placeholder image up there just for myself to see where it is. All right. We need to open up that room. Yeah, so I have it organized. So all my test stuff is just like its own thing out here, and then the game is like all these subfolders, and like they can get pretty big. Oh, I guess I have whatever. Like it is kind of the same thing. Like originally I had like these separated as two acts, but I guess Act Two is like Strawberry appearing, and then Act Three is all of the rest of the game, and then the final act is just the confrontation and whatever. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So we want West Park Hub. We're gonna place our object here. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to pull up our. Do we even have it? No, we don't have a fallen trash can object. So we're gonna make that first. How you doing, Kunadin? How are you doing? How? How are you doing? Can you even hear me? Kunadin, if you're not an idiot, say in chat. Oh, okay. How was Minecraft last night? Did you win, son? Oh, someone else is streaming? Is that really true? Is that why they call you Kunadin? Wow. This kind of doesn't matter too much, but it's a lot easier to keep track of if I do this. So I'm just making two of these sprites. From what, Korea? Oh, I don't really care. It's gonna be like 3 minutes. Mario's gonna appear on the screen. He's gonna jump. He'll maybe say like Yahoo Waha or I am Mario, or maybe he'll say my IP address, and then I'll get a very special surprise visit from Mario. And then you're just gonna have a bunch of people going, "What? That's it?" Even though it was just a teaser. There. Thanks, Kunaden. We love you. Well, that's a squirt gun, so that's not really gonna do much to me. All right, I gotta check something on here. Yeah, I don't really have it. Okay. Um, inherent event, current state equals default. Switch current state. And this is just setting its sprite to itself. And this is the one that updates it. Got gum. And I'll be like updating this later to do whatever. The next thing I want to do is kind of like set up the collision for this just right now. Because I don't imagine it'll change too much from the size-wise of it. So I'm just pulling up some other thing that has collision just so I can copy that. So the way I'm creating collision is, again, I am using, so I'm basically making all the blocks manually with like a little script here that sets its relative position and X scale and Y scale, and then putting it into an array to like store all their IDs. That way, if I need to update the state of this, or I need to like, delete it, it will get all those blocks and delete those first. A case of this is with like the sewer grating that you see on the ground. When Strawberry tops out of those, it will create like blocks that so that you don't like walk over the hole that it generates. And then once it like gets filled back in, it will like delete those blocks and you walk over it again. Uh, all right, so we have that, and now we just have to go here. I guess I'm gonna place like that object right now. Where? Oh, there it's fallen. That's right. That's right, Bo. That's where he belongs. Uh-huh. 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 All right. So there's our size. Its position is 152, 520. So minus 16 and minus 32. 32, 16, 32, 16, 32, 16, 32, 16, 32, 16. Okay. And the reason I do that is just so that, it's just a little more convenient for me. If I have like multiple objects, I can just like, keep spawning those instances. And then I never have to like, set their collision or like update those. It just makes it a little bit faster if I just set the collision off of it. And again, I don't use the game maker collision for that because I want to use that to determine the interaction, like collision. It's going okay. I'm kind of working on like I guess like you could call like the puzzle sequence for just Act 1 here. I was just reading something. What was I gonna do next? Let me delete that. Oh, right, the collision. Well, I broke the game into like three acts. Act 1 is like her at the park. Act 2 is like her meeting Strawberry, and then Act 3 is like her like wandering around the plot park doing all like the rest of the puzzles and like the main. It's basically the main game. And then there's a little finale thing of like escaping it. Okay, yeah, that's fine. All right. All right. So the thing I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna pull up our text editor again. We're gonna call this one Fallen Trash. Nah, she's not gonna say that. Well, what's tricky about this one is that I can't really like write this out because it's meant to be a cutscene where she tries to interact with it and some birds like attack her. But I'm not gonna do cutscenes right now. I'll like save that for later. There is like a little dialogue tag that I do have for like triggering a cutscene. It takes a lot. It takes a bit of like setting up of like linking the cutscenes together and naming it, as well as just like making the cutscene itself. Right now, I'm just trying to focus on the the puzzle sequence and stuff. All right, there's the dialogue. Now I'm just gonna add in some flags. So I could just have it like, add an item, take an item, but I just prefer like having it like the swap thing. I don't really like having that like is super dependent on that. Like I imagine like say you have multiple copies of an item, you want to like swap just one of them with it, then you would just like have this like check for that item and then it would update its like type to a different item. Otherwise it wouldn't do anything if it didn't find it. But you know. Anyway, and the last thing I have to do here, I believe, is update the state of the trash can, as well as set a flag. I guess I could just set the flag on the trash can. It doesn't really matter. I think I'll set it here. And what did I name it? Let's check it. Got gum. Sorry, I was just checking what I wrote in Game Maker. So the way this state like tag works is like whatever pop-up object we're interacting with which in this case is an interactive, that is the spilled trash, it will set its state to whatever I named it here. So it should be setting it to like the got gum state. And that will like update the graphic, and it will, I'm going to add in a flag next. As well as probably updating this. So let me just add in some code here. Just adding some flavor text too. I just like using ellipses a lot. I feel like that. I remember someone getting mad that they see ellipses a lot in like RPGs, but I don't know. It just seems like the best way to like kind of like have a character trailing off to like kind of like insinuate that there's an unfinished thought that you want to like pay attention to. So that's just why I use it a lot. Or just to kind of like indicate like a pause on their end. And she's like a very unsure person, so there you go. Let's see. I got swap twig, twig on gum, gum on twig, got gum. Yep, there's that. And so the next thing I gotta do here is I gotta update the state a bit more on our object. But I think our dialogue is good for this, so we'll do that. Um, I don't think she's met anyone like Frankenberry. I think that would be outside of her element. Like that's like a zombie being brought back to life. I think she probably just would kill herself at like the slight against humanity and the nature of life. Booberry, there is like a Booberry-esque like creature that exists in our world. And named Grape Ghoul, but he's just an asshole. Anyway, let's finish setting up our little object here. So the first thing I gotta do is I gotta set the dialogue tag to fallen trash no gum, and then so we're gonna do kind of like what we had before, fallen trash. As well, we are also going to, oh wait, yeah, I don't, I think I'm gonna set like the flag in the dialogue as well. So let's just do that. Just because like otherwise like I have to like add some sort of check to that default thing, and it's just easier to do in the this right here, since that's where the action's occurring. All right, so set flag by name, and I don't think we ever came up with a flag like a flag name yet. We'll have to do that next. I think this like it should be able to just like check for this and like set it fine, but got gum true. And I'm just going into Game Maker to set our list of flags. All right. And now I am going to go back to our object and we're going to add in some code here. SCR check. I get a lot of spam calls. That's lame. Check flag got gum. And if that's true, then current state equals that. And so the reason I do that is because like if you'll like because if you're looking at like the the dialogue things right now, it's only updating the state when she checks it and she uses the item. Otherwise, GameMaker doesn't keep track of what happens when you like leave the room and come back later. So this right here, since it's being set to default, I'm just checking for that flag, and if it gets set, it just moves it to the next object. So I guess I don't actually have to like set like the state within my dialog text code. It's kind of being done already here, but I guess yeah. I guess I'll just like go back to the dialog and get rid of it just so that it's a little more clean. All right, there. So the last thing I'm gonna do then is find our water fountain, and we're just gonna add in the thing for, you know, oh, I didn't have it there. Add it all the way down here. And again, I have all that other tag, that text there just for like cutscene notes, but we're not doing the cutscene right now. So, and my dog is waking up from his nap, so he can hear me talking, and he's like, "Oh, I want to play now." Well, I'll play with him after the stream. I'm not gonna be streaming too long. So I'm gonna do a similar thing here of, oh wait, set flag name. got coin. Okay, let's go back to Game Maker first. Update our thing. Got coin. Then we gotta open up our water fountain. So we'll be inheriting this event. We're gonna be setting like the state thing over here too. So it's sort of similar to what we did with the spill trash. Kind of exactly like it. It's just that we're not changing the sprite now. I'm gonna set the dialogue tag as well. I'm just gonna copy over what I put in the this here. Oh, okay. So this is something I don't like about like Game Maker 2 here. Is like whenever I use like control, hold down control, it seems to want to interpret that as me wanting to like zoom in. And I'm not sure why. I'm just gonna get rid of this too because I'm just like setting it in like the switch states. It's kind of good just to not, set the same variable in multiple places because then it's like if you change it in one place and then like you replay it and then like it's not changing, it just kind of gets confusing. So right here, I'm just gonna change this to water fountain, no coin. And because of that, we're gonna go back to our text editor. And we're gonna add in like another one here for, you know, having the coin. Just gonna copy the text from up here. Then another one too, if she tries to use the coin back on it. Alright. There's probably other stuff that I can add in later if I ever wanted to like play with like other items that you should interact with, just for, some extra flavor. And then again, this just makes it a lot easier for editing it, you know, uh, like adding in those things rather than just like coding it all. Though I do now have to go back into here, into Game Maker, and I have to uh, export it out again and then copy it back in. Okay, F8. Okay, converted. So now we go to this. I want to close that. Copy all of this text. We're going to place all of this. All right, so that should update our code, or our code. Now we can test to see if this is all working. Where is our failed error? Found new line within string. Oh. Let's see here. It looks like I forgot like a quote in my... Yep, I forgot a quote. So I'm just gonna update it in my both of them, just so I don't have to go through the whole process again. Yeah, it should work now. All right. First let's check this. The water fountain. Something shiny. What is that? Someone check the quarter. Arm's too short. Okay. Got a stick. Just making sure this still works fine. Wonder if this will work. I can reach it, but okay. I know I could move the object over here so we can test it more, but let's see if it just works the first time. All right. So there's our collision. Now it's all invisible because I have all of the object stuff set to not be visible. So just so you don't see it underneath all the tile art. A pile of spilled junk. There's some sticky gross gum on top of it. It's yuck. What's up? Alright, I didn't update that. It gave me the item. So let me take a look at the code here. A stick. There's also something with the dialogue that sort of bugged me. I'm gonna take a quick look here. I got a sticky stick. I got a question for you, Vo. Are you ready? Uh, yeah. Let me find the thing first. Okay. Here's my question. Um, what is Damn it. Okay. Okay. I think I found it. I just have to. All right. What's blue and sticky? You don't know? Would you like a hint? Okay. It's sticky. As your hint. That's right. I won. You lost. You have to pay me money now. Yeah, they're very beautiful and orange. Oh, okay. Come on. I'm trying to grab her image. There she is. Traffic cones. Kind of like rickety. Oh, there she goes. She was insulted by what you said. She's walking away. All right, so what happened? It did not update the spilled trash. So first I'm gonna take a look at the code. Let's see. Fallen trash can. All right, we're up here. So SCR check flag got gum. And if this is okay, I see what I. All right, yeah, I named it the wrong state. That's why. So it just went to the default. There we go. Yeah. All right. Oh, because of that, then I gotta. I might as well update my. Yeah. Okay. I got confused then. Okay. And let's scroll down to our water fountain and make sure we didn't make the next. Nope, we didn't. Okay. So yeah, that should work this time. Let's just move her to the stick first. Did it not make it? No, it was successful. I must have not hit it. Guess not. Alright, let's see if it works now. Got the stick. Alright. I don't like how that's written, so I'm gonna probably change that first. But it looks like our thing's working. Yeah, alright. Let's see. I'm just gonna update the text editor of the match here. Alright. Okay, well that's all the dialogue for that. I guess the next part then is checking on using the coins. You can see here it's already looking pretty good. Beep boop beep, phone call, phone call. Yeah, I guess the problem with that is that that is very much like a cutscene. And I already have it taking a coin here. Yeah, I guess at this point I'll just work. Tiera should have a snack, eat the gum. Oh, she's got a whole vending machine of snacks that she could eat. What do you want? Alright, we're at the vending machine. What do you want, Vo? What do you want, Vo? Chips? What kind of chips? Funyuns? Doritos? Uh, Kit Kat? I think one of these is meant to be a Kit Kat. But I'm not gonna get you that. I'm gonna get you a Butterfinger. Alright, so the next thing that we need to do, or could do, is we could add in a state for Tiera using um, either the can or the rock to throw it. Like I have a can over here. She can pick it up. But if I try to use it, she's like, why would I do that? What an idiot. How can she not know what to do? I think for now, we will keep it pretty simple. Because, like, there's, like, animations we need to make for her, like, picking up and throwing a thing in all the different directions. But with copper wire wrapped around it, why, what would that do? That sounds super dangerous for some reason. What, are you gonna tell her to, like, cast lightning? Lightning bolt. I don't know if Strawberry is weak to it. Throw it at a power wire. Are you trying to get her killed? What the fuck's wrong with you? Alright, I'm gonna ignore you because you're being a troll. Okay, so we got all these states here. These are her default ones. Here's her laying down, getting up, crawling, dashing, knockback, start sense, ghost sense, pushing, grabbed by strawberry, dying, fuck you, pick item, selected item, use item. Alright, so I think this is what we want. Because right now, so this is like how I'm breaking down like the use item things. If it's not like, if she's not next to a pop-up, then it will kind of like interpret it as like something that she wants to use on her own. So that's where we're gonna add in the thing for the rock. Hold on a second. adjust myself. All right, first we, oh, hold on a second. All right, I found your GIF, and again, I don't think Tiera should be doing that. I think that will be very dangerous for her. Okay, I gotta first pull up my list of items so I get the right one. All right, rock and empty can, and I also have rubber ball. So I'm just gonna grab all three of these. I might change the rubber ball. Like I had like a little rubber ball item that you could find somewhere and like play with. But I think I might change how I do it if I use it at all. Because I think I already have like enough throwing items and there's not really that much emphasis on throwing things. Like one idea was that you would be able to, if Strawberry was chasing you, you could take out the rock and like throw it at him and it would stun him a bit. But I don't know if that's really useful. I think I would still want to do it just so that, it's another piece of interactivity. All right, I don't think we can. I don't think there's any copper wire available to her in the park. Was that like part of like an episode of Breaking Bad? Jesse, wrap this in copper wire. We're gonna prank Gus. Yeah, I've watched all the way up to season 5, the beginning of it. I still have to watch the rest of that. And I saw like a lot of like season 6. I saw all the episodes near the ending. Um, like I think the last 3. And I just watched a bunch of clips otherwise. I should probably name this something more throwing. And if I need to change it, I'll do that later. Alright, so I'm going to be making her sprites later, but for now I am going to reuse like some other ones. Oh wait, I selected the wrong one. Yeah, let me plan this out. I think I can reuse that. Trying to find where my sprite flip was. Like I have a piece of code, like lines of text that, set her to flip her sprite left or right. Usually based on, oh, it must be an animate PC, yeah. Yep, okay. Oh, alright. Well, it's not going to be based on speed this time, so I'll have to add in something for that later. So I want to get this so that I can more easily set her animation state. Param base sprite name, okay. So we're gonna name it SPR Tiera aiming. So flip, not speed. We don't really want that. Instead, I'm gonna have it so that flipping based on direction. Keep. No, she will never be gaming. Sorry. Do I have anything of her landing on the ground? Yeah, I do, but I think that's for... Yeah. Yeah, that's something else. I'll just have her go back to default. Just keep these as the same for now. I'm just looking for a good placeholder sprite to use. I think this might be like the best one I can really do at this point. Oh wait, no. Ghost Sense is pretty good. Yeah, that has enough. Alright. I'm thinking with like that has all 5 directions that also has like a number of frames. Again, these aren't going to be final or anything. I'm just using as placeholders just to check something. Alright, duplicate. What? That's an unfortunate name, Sprite, isn't it? Tiera throwing up. All right. Did I? Yeah, I got everything. Okay. So let me go back to her code here. I don't need that. That's fine. Okay. Let's see. When she throws it, it should set her to. I think it would be better just to like set it to like different states. So yeah, I'm gonna go back to what I had planned before. Aiming. This will be throwing. And I'm just gonna set her sprite based on that. All right. Bye bye. Thank you. Goodbye. It is 9, so I'm gonna probably finish this thought and then I'll end the stream too anyway, just because I plan to only do like 2-3 hours and my dog's just gonna get more uppity unless I hang out with him. Okay, so if anim end, I gotta check something in my scripts. Yeah, he's been mostly quiet given how long he's been in his pen. What is frame speed? Oh, that's it. Okay. So essentially what I'm setting up here is like on a specific frame. Throw the item. And then at the end of the animation, she just goes back to normal. So I'm gonna set this to a default sprite. SPR pickup twig. Where's my thing? There it is. Alright, well, it's not showing up there, so it must be. Oh, I spelled it wrong. So I'm just using this as a placeholder. Alright, this could take a bit. Let's see. Let me go to my effects here. Trash debris. Yeah, it's going to be similar to this. Which should mean it should really be like its own like parent object, but I'm too lazy to do that right now. So, oh right, the thrown item I guess should also be pick upable because it is an item. Ah, that's why. Okay, well that's whatever. So I guess this is, yeah, it's a dialogue tag, that's why. Okay. Yeah, I get what I was doing there. But whatever. Alright, let's take up all of this and then just copy it over. We don't want to destroy the instance. We want to keep it on screen. And then the shadow debris. And yeah, check to see here. So we got like a little speed thing. Why is, oh, I know why. Oh, I thought I did. Yeah, okay, I do. There we go. All right, I think I have all that. So first we're going to be creating our item. Instance create. And we'll just keep it. Actually, let me start making this. Var x equals x. Var y equals y. Var depth equals depth. Yeah, I should probably get the item too. Var item equals object. And later on we'll set this to have like its own properties based on which item is being thrown of the three. But for now, we are just trying to get the base functionality of her throwing something. Because I'm not going to be able to finish all this tonight. Getting tired. Okay, so thrown. The first thing we're doing is we're checking the moving direction. And now I gotta see what all those were again. Up, side, down, up, ankle, down, ankle. Alright. So this should be 90. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, it won't matter much for up and down. $270. No, not too much. I'm still setting up the code for throwing items. So the way it's working is, once you select the item, you kind of like, she'll be able to start aiming it, like in all the 8 directions she can go. And if you hit X again, she'll like throw it. I can't quite get everything in place right now for it, like all the sprites and animations for that. So I'm just focusing on like functionality. Um, so right now I'm just checking like once it's at a certain frame in her throw animation, it will create the object and throw it based on which way she's facing and like set its speed and direction there and then return to normal. And it's going to be creating that item. Yeah, hopefully. So upright is 45. So this is just setting all of the 8 directions, like accounting for it. I don't really need the Y. So I won't need that, that. So down, left, 270 minus 45, that's gonna be 225. And then 180 plus 45 is, oh no, it's right, so it's 280, 270 plus 45, it's gonna be 315. So with throne, we gotta set a few things. The speed, we can set it to our speed. And our direction, we can set it to our direction. But in order to set the variables for it being in the air, I have to go to strawberry here, because I set something similar to that with that trash debris. So there's a trash can. Yep. Okay, I don't think they need to be that high up. And the other thing was fall speed needs to be set to a negative value so that it's initially rising. This might be too low, but we'll see in a bit. I think this might be enough for now. It'll look chinky and weird, but it should get our point across. Let's see. The other thing I didn't do was I didn't set collisions for the object, so if it gets stuck in a block, then we're just not going to be able to get it. I'll have to do that later. But I'm getting a little tired and a little sore throat, so I'll probably end after seeing how this is at. So let's go to our canned. Yep, there it is. Okay. Alright, we have an error. Trying to draw a non-existing sprite. Well, it must be based off of Tiera's things. So let's see what I did wrong. Just taking a look at the code I wrote. Yeah, this is the, it's not helping me too much, the error message. So it's gonna be based around this over here. So let me take a look. What did I put for the sprites? Did I put what I thought I did? Aiming, aiming. Yeah, it looks right. So maybe it's something wrong with the script I didn't see earlier. see, animate PC. So there's the base sprite, right? Down angle, up angle. Did I name those correctly? Yeah, it looks correct. There shouldn't be any append animation. Okay. Yeah, this animate PC is only based on if she's moving. So it's not even what we want to use. Alright, let's see here. Oh, okay, so I guess we just want to use this. Right? Yeah, he's really barking. Alright, let's see if this fixes that error we had earlier, and then I'm gonna call it done. And get back to this some other night. Alright, so this is... I gotta take a look here then at what's going on with oh, okay. Let me fix that. And let me move her into place too, just so it's a little faster to get to it. I just want to see that she is able to throw it. Okay. Alright, so she's aiming. So it makes multiples of them, which is not what I want. I think I know what to do to fix that. And hey there, you kind of caught me at the tail end of this. I'm just kind of finishing up the throwing here, and then I was going to call it done just because of my dog's barking. Alright, so I think I just want to check this. I think this is what I wanted to do, yeah. Alright, so yeah, it looks neat, but it's not really intended. Like having that sort of like, multiples effect is cool when you want to make something look unearthly or, show that it's moving fast. Alucard does it in Symphony of the Night. Alright, so that threw it, and I thought it looked pretty cool. I'm gonna reset. Oh, that's weird. She had multiple items. Oh, right, I didn't take them away, but I thought resetting it should like reset. I guess like it's part of her camera state or something. Yeah, that's why it doesn't like go away. Yeah, so the last thing I would have to do is just like get rid of the item, but that's really based around checking the item type and so on. Yeah, hey there. Yeah, I was just I could just show you really quick what I just did right now, while you're here. And it's kind of a good recap of what we did tonight. So yeah, later on I'll get back to that throwing item. I'm gonna set it to the unique sprite. I'm gonna add in a collision, um, and getting rid of it from our inventory and then being able to pick it back up, stuff like that. The point of that is just so that it can like play into like another puzzle. So what I did now was I just updated this water fountain to become an interactive object. If she checks it, she'll say a thing. So she says she can't reach it, and if she checks it again, it updates the text just so it's shorter. We can pick up a stick here. She says it's neat. She can try to use the stick on the fountain, but she can't pick up the quarter. And so she leaves. I'm planning to try and put it on Itch.io first. I guess I could just put them both on the same thing at the same time. It doesn't really matter. I don't really intend to like have this be for sale. I was just gonna have it like be a free game. We'll see. So here she finds this is supposed to be like some spilled trash on the ground. I haven't like finished this area, so it's not tiled at all. It's all complete darkness. So she checks it, a pile of spilled chunk. There's some sticky, gross gum on the top. She doesn't want to touch it with her bare hands, but she can use her stick to poke at the gum, and then she gets like a little gum stick. She doesn't really seem to be liking it, and if she tries to check it again, she doesn't even really want to check. And she tries to use the stick on it now. She'll say something else. I think this would be too scary, and I think he would quit playing games because it's just too scary. He'd probably go insane and then cry. Alright, so she can use the gum stick on the water fountain, and she'll get the coin. She feels bad about it, but she'll get over it, and then she gets rid of the gum stick because she doesn't want it anymore. We can check our items, we don't have it. And if she checks the water fountain again, she doesn't talk about a quarter being in there. She says it's too quiet. Try to use a quarter on there. She's like, after all the work to get this, she doesn't want to throw it away. And there we have our quarter now. And ideally, you would be able to use this in order to play a cutscene where she makes like a phone call on this. Oh, but right now it just plays some bullshit text I didn't finish. That's it. Now she has no quarter. So yeah, that's about where I got to tonight. I like added all that fountain stuff and the spilled trash and like using those items and all the text. And then I was starting on the throwing mechanic because what's going to happen with the spilled trash there is in order to get to the gum, there's some birds near it and she has to scare it away with a thrown rock. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So thanks everyone for watching and thanks for stopping by too. Sorry it was a little abrupt here, but I've been streaming for like about 2.5 hours now, and my dog wants attention. So I'll see you guys later on. Uh, Probably gonna stream next week too. All right. Thank you. Have a nice night.